On September 11th, 2001, I was preparing for a field trip.
I was sitting in our kitchen.
I came in from cutting firewood.
I was in high school.
I was laying carpet.
I was on my way to work.
I woke up at, I believe, around 6 o'clock for school.
I had gotten up early and had gone for a run.
We were actually heading to the airport that day.
I was coming into the Capitol.
I was on my way to work.
I was 8th grade and I was actually walking into my world history class.
I was a sophomore in college at Fresno State.
I was in college. I was a freshman in college at Notre Dame.
Getting our 2 kids to finish up their food before they went off to school that morning.
And we were eating Lucky Charms.
I went downstairs to eat breakfast, I believe.
Stepson called his mother and says, "You gotta turn the TV on."
And I met someone going onto the elevator in the Capitol, and she said to me, "Had I heard?"
We just opened up here at the shop, and all of a sudden I got a call from my wife telling me to turn on the TV.
I noticed that a number of my colleagues were gathered around a television set. So I just walked over to see what was going on.
You know, everybody was just like, something's happening and we don't know exactly what.
Looked out the door and saw all these kids standing watching TV, and I kept doing what I needed to do. And then one of the kids came in and said, "Hey, Ryan, aren't you from New York?"
We happened to be watching and saw one of the towers on fire. We saw smoke coming out.
And I said, "Heard what?" And she said, "A plane has crashed into the World Tower."
I was listening to WISN, and Jay Weber at the time mentioned something about a plane going into one of the Twin Towers.
And I was listening to Reitman and Miller, and Gene Miller broke in and says, "We have breaking news. There was a plane that hit the Twin Towers."
And I remember watching that day. One of the networks had immediately gone to image of and mentioned the plane had just hit one of the World Trade Centers, and it was like, whoa! And I looked at it for a second, and I realized this is not good.
We were on Lake Michigan with 40 kids, a crew from the Dennis Sullivan, my principal, and 2 other colleagues.
But I just remember that day, our teacher, Mr. Yuriko, actually, "Hey, you guys, come on, BJ, come on and sit down."
I went to a private school and the pastor came upstairs and told us about the 9/11, that the tower's been hit.
And I remember turning on the news, every channel had it covered that there was a plane crash at the World Trade Center.
I just thought somebody was going ahead and lost control of a plane or something, that's all.
And I remember there was a TV, and I thought, oh, new movie, like what's the big deal? It looks like Air Force One or something. It's like, eh.
Little by little, everybody realized that the second tower had been hit. And it was just, I remember standing there felt like hours.
It hit us that it was, for real. And then we saw that the second airplane crashed in.
The building was on fire, and then right after that, then the second plane hit. And I was like, oh, shoot. And then I realized, I was like, no, that wasn't an accident.
Then they started showing the footage of the second plane having gone in, and it was just, surreal. You didn't know what was happening.
And it was like you're just sitting there in awe,
It was, without a doubt, the most unsettling situation I've ever been in my life in terms of thinking, are we at war?
It was the most horrible, devastating thing that ever happened.
Because my sister was there and she was really little. She started asking questions and stuff, and I didn't know. And God, I remember this now. She was like, "Well, what's happening? What happened to those people?"
Everything seemed meaningless at that point. The thought of, for us making sub sandwiches was just so inconsequential at that time, because the world was immediately a different place.
It just changed everything, especially an environment. Just everybody from that point on just tried to become unionized.
I know there was a lot of red, white, and blue. We started saying the pledge every day.
And it was a time when there were no Democrats, there were no Republicans. We were all Americans.
Everyone was kind of embraced, I feel, during that moment.
I think we really rallied around one another, and like I said, it kind of put everything into perspective, and what life means and what it's all about, and kind of having a patriotism about ourselves and how we're going to stand up for what we believe in, our freedom, and do what's right.
People that never liked each other, talk to, are speaking now.
Where people it didn't matter party affiliation, it didn't matter whether you were in the city or you lived on a farm. People were just united.
I just remember going home and just being grateful that all my family was there, and that we just talked about it at the dinner table, about how grateful that we were to see each other again, because some people didn't have the opportunity to see their mom or dad after that day.